Hey everyone, NecroVMX here for yet another episode of Hey Assholes. I took the last week off from calling out unbelievable shitcocks on the internet, but no, that doesn't mean that the series is over, not by a long shot, because despite efforts, there still are asshole behaviors on the internet. There's probably always going to be asshole behaviors on the internet as long as there are assholes, and really there's nothing we can do to eliminate them. We can only mock them and take solace in the fact that we are superior. Anyway, this particular episode is about a subject that I find especially annoying, as it introduced me to something that I'd really rather not have been introduced to. So let's take it away. Hey assholes! Why are there so many fucking comments on YouTube about Justin Bieber? Seriously. Everywhere you go, there's someone making a comment about Justin Bieber. And I'm not talking about his fans, from which I can tell consist of girls between the ages of 8 and 12. I'm talking about people who don't like him. See, this is what I don't get. I'm a huge fan of music. I own hundreds of albums spanning virtually every genre, and I listen to them frequently. I pick apart new music, I examine the classics. It's very much a huge hobby of mine. But music, like any other form of art or entertainment, and really it's both, is a victim of Sturgeon's law. If you're unfamiliar with Sturgeon's law, it's a sort of way of looking at things thought up by Theodore Sturgeon, a science fiction writer. He said, and I quote, "I repeat Sturgeon's revelation, which was wrung out of me after 20 years of wearying defense of science fiction against attacks of people who used the worst examples of the field for ammunition, and whose conclusion was that 90% of sci-fi is crud. Using the same standards that categorize 90% of science fiction as trash, crud, or crap, it can be argued that 90% of film, literature, consumer goods, etc. are crap. In other words, the claim or fact that 90% of science fiction is crap is ultimately uninformative, because science fiction conforms to the same trends of quality as all other art forms." So basically, 90% of everything is crap. To say that 90% of music is crap may seem harsh because you probably like a lot of music, but there's an astronomical amount of music out there that just isn't very good, either because it's poorly written, poorly performed, poorly produced, or a mixture of any or all of those. I accept this, and I stick to what I like. If I don't like a song, or an album, or even an entire musical act's career, I steer clear of them. I'll certainly offer an opinion if asked, and sometimes without being asked, but always when it's relevant. That being said, what bugs me about the Justin Bieber comments is that you'd expect to see comments about him where they are relevant. In other words, videos that either contain Justin Bieber or were referenced to him. But instead, virtually any video on YouTube that contains anything to do with music has comments about Justin Bieber. But you might say, okay, well, it's related in a way, it is music, but honestly, I don't see the relevance or the point of coming to a video of, say, heavy metal music or maybe classical Baroque and airing out your disdain for Justin Bieber. Did you think he was going to read it? Did you think a lot of his fans are on those videos? You're either preaching to the choir, meaning everybody already agrees with you and it's really pointless to even say, or you're talking to people who literally don't give a damn. But it's gone beyond just music, as videos on YouTube of any category are bombarded with hate comments about Justin Bieber. And why, really? What's the relevance between, say, my videos and Justin Bieber? And yes, I actually have gotten comments about this kid on my videos. I've seen comments about this kid on everything from music videos, gameplay videos, comedy sketches, to prank phone call videos, pretty much everywhere I go. And now people are leaving these comments on other people's channels, putting "fuck Justin Bieber" on their own channels, and just really, it's getting out of hand. Who the fuck cares? I'll tell you who doesn't. Me, baby. Me. And here's the second reason that this whole thing bugs me. As I said, I am fully aware of Sturgeon's law, and because of this, there are certain musical circles that I am very involved in and always up on the latest news and releases, and certain musical circles that I really have no idea what's going on. One of the latter would be modern pop, which really doesn't interest me at all. So when all this started on YouTube, I had no idea who Justin Bieber was at all. Surely I occasionally wondered who he was based on the sheer volume of comments I was seeing, but it wasn't enough curiosity to kill a cat or even maim a kitten. I think I heard a meow, but it was half-hearted to tell the truth. To be honest, I thought he might have had something to do with American Idol, a show that I certainly see the appeal of for many people, but it doesn't really interest me. I thought maybe he was a contestant who won and people thought he shouldn't have, so they all hate him. I even got a YouTube private message from somebody once asking my opinion of Justin Bieber, which I didn't answer due to the fact that I had no opinion of him at the time. The person mentioned that a lot of people seem to think that he got famous by blowing somebody, which seemed to corroborate with my idol theory. I wasn't alone in not knowing or really caring who he was, as people would occasionally ask me if I knew, which I would reply with the simplest and most honest response that I can come up with. He's some singer. Well, since those days I have found out more about him, and I'll tell you exactly how this came about. I get a channel called HDNet, a high-def-only channel that plays a lot of syndicated shows, which I mostly appreciate for their high amounts of Star Trek reruns. One thing that I like about the network is that they show the shows commercial-free, so you're seeing each episode without interruption as if you were watching a DVD, and they simply show commercials and whatnot between each episode instead. They also tend to not be straight-up commercials all the time, but there's a lot of movie trailers and little featurettes like you'd see at a movie theater before the trailers even start, and occasionally music videos. One day, waiting for the next show to come on, and just having gotten done watching a preview for a movie called Rec 2, they announced their intentions to play a music video featuring Justin Bieber and some other person who I can't remember the name of. Well, I was mildly curious, as I was about to sate the very small curiosity that I had about him without having to make any sort of effort. Actually, it would have required effort to not see it by changing the channel, so it was at this point the most apathetic thing to do. I watched the video and realized two things about Justin Bieber right off the bat. First is that he's a kid. I don't mean kid like when I refer to a 20-year-old as a kid. That's just me getting old at a young age. I mean, he's literally like 15, or at least he looked that way in the video. The second thing I realized is that I still don't give a damn about him. That's right, folks, that was my reaction to his music. Not rage, not scorn, not the urge to bound towards my computer and write comments about how much I hate him and how gay he is and how much he sucks and how he's on a mission to discover if each individual penis has a distinct flavor. No, none of that. Instead, I felt nothing more than boredom. Why? Well, I guess it's back to Sturgeon's law. The music was crap, but I wasn't expecting it to be anything good. Now, in case you're curious, I don't know the name of the song, but I can tell you that the video featured him and some other kid who, from what I can remember, was a rapper, fighting over some girl that was clearly too old for them, and in the end I guess they realized the girl is a raging whore and became friends with each other. Honestly, it's the same type of video you've seen 100 times before, nothing original. I can't tell you if the kid could sing or not because there was so much auto-tune and high-end production that they might as well change his name to Darth Bieber. He's more machine than man. Well, not man, boy. I don't think his balls dropped yet. Tell you what's going to happen. In a few years, this kid is going to disappear. He'll still be around, but the majority of the world population will have joined me in apathy. His fans will either grow out of the phase they're in or switch their allegiances to someone else. Record sales will drop drastically, but still be fairly decent. Regardless of that, the label will drop him, and perhaps in 20 years he'll be featured for a VH1 Where Are They Now? I Love the Naughties edition. He'll strain for relevance, probably do a reality show at one point, and then there'll be the inevitable drug issues. As he gets old, he'll probably be in and out of rehab, or release a sex tape, or maybe just quietly disappear and wind up selling Aflac. Either way, let me ask you a question. Is it really worth it to bother hating on this kid? To me, it's just a waste of time. I'm sure he doesn't give a shit. He's probably rich as fuck. And you can call him gay until the cows come home, but the sad truth is, he probably gets more pussy than he knows what to do with. And when his fame fades away, so will the pussy. Which will probably be very depressing for him. I guess the big YouTube Justin Bieber hate campaign is just another example of people with way too much time on their hands. Which brings me to John Gabriel's greater internet fuckwad theory, thought up by the great philosopher Gabe from Penny Arcade. Take a normal person and add anonymity and an audience, and they will become a total fuckwad. Haters gonna hate, and nothing will ever stop them. Right now it's Justin Bieber, tomorrow it'll be something else. I accept this as a matter of fact, and if you feel so incensed by this kid that you absolutely, positively must prove to the internet that you give an actual fuck by going on YouTube and telling the world of your hatred of Justin Bieber, well, go find a Justin Bieber video to post on and stop polluting the rest of the internet with your nonsense. We just don't care.